What's up, Warriors Nation? Welcome back to the channel, and oh boy, do we have a thrilling game to talk about today. The Golden State Warriors just beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 113-103 in what can only be described as a true team performance from start to finish. From deep three-pointers to jaw-dropping highlights, this game had it all. Steph Curry, as usual, put on a clinic, showcasing why he's arguably the greatest shooter to ever play the game, but it wasn't just him. The Warriors, as a team, clicked on all cylinders, proving that their championship DNA is still very much alive and well. This win keeps their momentum rolling as they look ahead to a tough stretch of games later in the season. But what made this game so exciting? Let's break it all down. It was another intense battle at Chase Center, and the stakes were high for both teams. The Timberwolves have been a rising force in the Western Conference, led by young stars like Anthony Edwards and the ever-dominant Karl Anthony Towns, and they came into this game looking to prove themselves against one of the West's premier teams. But the Warriors were not about to let that happen. Right from the tip-off, Golden State set the tone. They came out firing on all cylinders, using their fast-paced offense to put Minnesota on the back foot. Curry and Klay Thompson immediately got going from beyond the arc, and that familiar Warriors offense, the ball movement, the spacing, the shooting was on full display. The Timberwolves, while competitive, just couldn't keep up with the Warriors' firepower. Speaking of Curry, let's talk about his performance. Steph Curry was simply sensational in this one, finishing with 31 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. Every time the Timberwolves looked like they might make a run, Curry would drain another 3 to keep them at arm's length. He had a remarkable 7 three-pointers on just 11 attempts, and you could feel the energy in the building whenever he pulled up from deep. The ball just has a different kind of magic when it leaves Curry's hands, and this game was a perfect example of why he's one of the most electrifying players in NBA history. His deep threes aren't just shots, they're momentum shifts. There's something about the timing of his shots when he hits them, it's like he changes the entire flow of the game in one quick release. With the Timberwolves gaining a little bit of momentum in the third quarter, Curry would come down the floor, wave off the defense, and calmly knock down a 3 from what seemed like 30 feet. And just like that, the Warriors were back in control. Of course, Curry wasn't the only one stepping up. Klay Thompson, after some early season struggles, looked more like his old self in this game. Klay finished with 24 points and shot a very efficient 6 for 12 from beyond the arc. It was so refreshing to see him finding his rhythm again. We all know what Klay brings to the table, his lethal shooting ability, his ability to move without the ball, and his calm, steady presence on the court. There's something about Klay's catch-and-shoot game that makes it almost impossible for defenders to stop, and when he gets hot, watch out. The Timberwolves simply couldn't contain him, and in key moments, Klay was there to hit big shots, helping to stretch the lead in the second half. But what really made this win special was the team effort on both ends of the floor. Draymond Green, as always, was the heartbeat of the team. He finished with 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, coming so close to another triple-double. But more than the numbers, Draymond's leadership and intensity were on full display. He was everywhere defensively, making life difficult for Towns and Edwards, grabbing rebounds, and throwing his body around. Draymond's basketball IQ and ability to read the game are invaluable to this team, and his communication on defense was the key to slowing down the Timberwolves' offense. He didn't score a ton of points, but his impact was felt in every aspect of the game. The Warriors' defense, led by Draymond, was tough, physical, and strategic, forcing the Timberwolves into difficult shots and limiting their second-chance opportunities. And we can't forget about the bench. The Warriors' depth has been a point of concern for some, but in this game, it was clear that the bench could step up when needed. Players like Kevin Looney, Gary Payton II, and Moses Moody all had important contributions. Looney did what Looney does best. He battled down low, grabbed critical rebounds, set solid screens, and provided that extra muscle in the paint that the Warriors often need against bigger teams. Gary Payton too provided his usual disruptive defense, getting steals and contesting shots, while Moses Moody came in and hit some timely shots that helped keep the Timberwolves at bay. It's not always glamorous, but contributions like those from the bench are crucial, and in a game like this, they made a huge difference. On the other side, the Timberwolves definitely didn't roll over. Anthony Edwards, the rising star, did everything he could to keep his team in the game, finishing with 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Edwards was aggressive from the get-go, using his athleticism and scoring ability to create offense for himself and his teammates. There were stretches in the game where it felt like Edwards was on the verge of taking over, especially with the Warriors' defense momentarily slipping. His shooting was on point, and he made some incredible moves to the basket, but despite his best efforts, the Warriors' defense, led by Green, just had enough tools to stifle him when it mattered most. Karl Anthony Towns had another solid outing, finishing with 20 points and 10 rebounds, but like Edwards, Towns was unable to take control when the game was on the line. Golden State's defense, especially in the second half, made it difficult for Towns to dominate the way he's capable of. Draymond Green did an excellent job of bodying up Towns and contesting his shots, while the Warriors' team defense collapsed on him when he tried to back down in the post. There were moments where Towns looked frustrated, but that's just the kind of defense the Warriors are known for. It's relentless, and it wears you down over time. But even though Minnesota fought hard, the game was essentially decided in the fourth quarter, when the Warriors' execution in crunch time was just too much for the Timberwolves to handle. As the Timberwolves were looking to make one final push, Curry hit a huge three-pointer that extended the Warriors' lead back to double digits. It was a dagger. Then, a few possessions later, Klay Thompson hit a corner three that felt like the nail in the coffin. You could see the frustration on the Timberwolves' faces as the shots kept falling. The Warriors' experience and poise in crunch time are qualities that will serve them well as they gear up for the postseason. And speaking of the postseason, this game was a statement. Yes, the Timberwolves are a talented team, but this win showed that the Warriors still have what it takes to hang with the best of them. The depth, the shooting, the defense. When this team is firing on all cylinders, they can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. It's been a roller coaster season for the Warriors at times, but performances like this show that they're rounding into form at the right time. As we look ahead, the Warriors have some tough matchups in the coming weeks, including games against the Phoenix Suns, Denver Nuggets, and LA Lakers, all teams that will test them. But if they continue to play with this kind of intensity, chemistry, and leadership, there's no reason why they can't make another deep playoff run. Warriors fans, there's plenty to be excited about. From Curry's MVP-level performances to Klay finding his shooting stroke again, to Draymond leading the charge defensively, this team has everything they need to compete for another championship. With the right mindset and health, the Warriors are primed for success. As we head into the final stretch of the season, you have to believe that they're going to be a tough out for anyone in the West. The championship window is still open, and the Warriors are reminding everyone why they're one of the most dangerous teams in the league. So what did you think of this game, Warriors Nation? Were you as impressed as I was with their performance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we'll have plenty more coverage, highlights, and analysis as the season progresses. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Warriors!